Scientists say cheese could give us nightmares. This is breakingnewsenglish.com. New research suggests that dairy products, cheese in particular, could give people nightmares. Research published in the journal Frontiers in Psychology found that people with a severe lactose intolerance were more prone to bad dreams and insomnia. Professor Marie-Pierre Saint-Onge, director of the Dream and Nightmare Lab in Montreal, Canada, analyzed the diet, health, and sleep patterns of more than 1,000 people. She wanted to investigate the degree to which food affected dreams. She based her research on a 2015 study that looked into food-dependent dreaming. Participants in the 2015 study blamed cheese and other dairy products for disturbing their sleep. Dr. Saint-Onge discovered that people with gastrointestinal problems and lactose intolerance had scarier and more frequent nightmares. She said, "If you have gastrointestinal issues, that could account for a lot of what's happening in terms of sleep disturbances that could be associated with different dreams." Her colleague, Dr. Tor Nielsen, said, "Sleep disturbances affect a huge proportion of the general population." One large survey found that 30 to 40% of individuals will have a clinically significant sleep disorder in their lifetime. Previous research suggests that about 85% of adults have a nightmare at least once a year, with about 5% of people experiencing them frequently. Thank you for listening to breakingnewsenglish.com.
France bans smoking for tobacco-free generation. This is breakingnewsenglish.com. France has banned smoking in public places like beaches and parks. Any smoker who lights up a cigarette in public will be breaking the law. The new smoking ban is to protect children from passive smoking. This happens when you breathe in smoke from other people who are smoking. The government wants to create a tobacco-free generation by 2032. This means protecting children today. France's Minister of Health said, "Tobacco must disappear from places where there are children, a park, a beach, a school. These are places to play, learn and breathe, not for smoking." She added, "The freedom to smoke stops where the right of children to breathe clean air begins." Smoking is slowly falling in France. However, passive smoking still causes up to 5,000 deaths per year. A recent survey showed that 68% of French people support rules to ban smoking in public. They also want bans at outdoor cafes and restaurants, but these places are not included under the new ban. Smoking is one of the leading causes of preventable disease, disability and death. It can damage nearly every organ of the body. Smoking near children is especially dangerous because their bodies are still developing. Second-hand smoke can lead to breathing problems and asthma. It can slow down or damage lung development. People hope the new ban means children can grow up to be healthier.
Happiness varies greatly from person to person. This is breakingnewsenglish.com. Happiness is something we all strive for in life. However, what constitutes happiness varies greatly from person to person. A new study into the state of being happy shows that our contentment depends on the interaction of a wide variety of factors. Emery Beck, assistant professor of psychology at the University of California, led an investigation into what makes us happy. Understanding this could help mental health professionals to provide better treatments for people struggling with depression and anxiety. Professor Beck wrote, "We have to understand the sources of happiness to build effective interventions." Her study has been published in the journal Nature Human Behavior. Professor Beck suggested that happiness can come from external circumstances like income, job satisfaction, and possessions, or internal feelings. Beck wrote about 3 models of happiness. The first is the bottom-up frame of mind. This is based on our overall satisfaction with factors like wealth, jobs, and relationships. This framework is the one used for the World Happiness Report. The second model is a top-down perspective. This suggests happiness comes from internal attitudes towards life. People can control this through things like meditation or therapy. The final model is a bidirectional one. This is where the bottom-up and top-down models interact to create happiness. Thank you for listening to BreakingNewsEnglish.com.
Babies make memories but cannot remember them. This is BreakingNewsEnglish.com. Most people cannot recall memories of being a baby nor of their infancy. However, some people claim they can remember things that happened in the first year of their lives. Researchers at Yale and Columbia University in the United States studied why people have no recollection of things that happened in the first 4 or 5 years of their lives. The research team also investigated whether or not babies formed memories at all. Researcher Dr. Tristan Yates suggested we may not be able to remember being a baby. He said, "Our results suggest that babies' brains have the capacity for forming memories, but how long-lasting these memories are is still an open question." The research has been published in the journal Science. It suggests that babies as young as a year old can form and store memories. Researchers used a specially designed scanner to observe activity in an area of babies' brains called the hippocampus. This is where memories are created and stored. The research found that babies can form limited types of memories from the age of 2 months. It is possible that infants can detect patterns in people's faces, language, and in daily routines. However, episodic memory, which allows us to recall specific events, may take longer to form. The researchers say this kind of memory may not occur until the hippocampus has more fully matured.
Woman gets kidney stones following carnivore diet. This is BreakingNewsEnglish.com. The internet is full of diets we can follow to be healthy. A 23-year-old woman followed the carnivore diet and ended up in hospital. The woman is a social media influencer. She lives in Dallas, Texas. She explained in a TikTok video how the high-protein diet gave her kidney stones. These are small stones made up of chemicals in the urine. They cause pain when peeing. They are caused by eating too many processed foods and high-protein foods. The woman said she ate only animal-based food during her final year of college. She had 2 or 3 eggs and a steak every day. She was horrified after she passed blood in her urine. The carnivore diet has been growing in popularity on social media. Many influencers and content creators are promoting its benefits. Some people say a protein-only diet raises your energy levels and encourages positive thinking. However, most health experts warn that eating too much meat, fish, and dairy products is bad for your health. The Mayo Clinic said there is not enough fiber in the diet. This can lead to problems like constipation and headaches, and increase the risk of heart disease. The woman advised her followers not to eat too much protein. She said, "Don't neglect your fiber intake." Kidney stones affect about 1 in 10 people worldwide. They can be broken down using lasers and medicine. Thank you for listening to BreakingNewsEnglish.com.
Scientists find new part of our immune system. This is BreakingNewsEnglish.com. Scientists have discovered a previously unknown part of our immune system. They say their discovery could be important in helping our body fight diseases. The researchers are from the Weizmann Institute of Science in Israel. Professor Yifat Mebel told the BBC that her team's finding could provide an untapped source of natural antibiotics. The team wrote in the journal Nature, "These findings pave the way for previously undescribed diagnostic and therapeutic strategies in the fight against infectious diseases." The new part of the immune system is from a bodily function that recycles proteins. The scientists say it is capable of producing a multitude of chemicals that can kill bacteria and viruses. The researchers focused on peptides in their study. These are compounds that consist of 2 or more amino acids that help to keep our immune system strong. The scientists wrote that peptides could provide biotechnological applications and therapeutic interventions in infectious diseases and immunocompromised conditions. Peptides help the immune system to create defenses against bacteria and help to halt their growth. Professor Mebel said, "We discovered a novel mechanism of immunity that is allowing us to have a defense against bacterial infection." She added, "It's happening throughout our body in all the cells and generates a whole new class of potential natural antibiotics."